Hey there everyone, Captain Beards here, bringing you another Gears 5 video. Let's get it. Alright guys, so this is going to be a beginner's guide to the shotgun. So I'm not going to really cover no advanced stuff. I'm going to cover more of the basic materials. I will be showing some gameplay in the background. I'm going to be using the shotgun the majority. So if you do want to listen in, you could just listen in. If you want to watch the gameplay, you can watch the gameplay and see how I play with the shotgun. Now do note guys, I'm not a pro player, I'm not some super expert, but I have been playing Gears since Gears 1. This is why I'm giving these tips, because I'm an old school player. Now, I do use both a SCUF controller and mouse and keyboard. I am a PC player, but I use both. I have played the game with the controller, I have played the game with the mouse and keyboard, and I can honestly say they both have their benefits. And when it comes to the shotgun, a lot of people say, oh yeah, controller wins shotgun battles all the time. It goes both ways, guys. There is no one better than the other. So these tips are not just for the PC players, it's also for the Xbox players, because you can also plug up a mouse and keyboard on your Xbox if you feel like you're at a disadvantage, guys. So do understand that. And if you are turning off crossplay to get rid of mouse and keyboard players, that is not going to do much, because people can just go ahead and buy a mouse and keyboard, plug it to their Xbox, because there is native support for Gears 5. So there is no escaping mouse and keyboard players, guys. Always remember that. Now, let's get into tip number 1. Alright, so I was initially going to add gameplay in this video, but I decided not to do that. Now the reason why I'm not going to do that is because there's a lot of things I have to show you guys, and using gameplay for only one part of all these tips would not be really helpful. So tip number 1, guys, which is going to be sensitivity / don't fly across the map. I know it sounds kind of weird, but sensitivity is everything when it comes to the shotgun, because that determines if you can turn towards a target fast enough, if you can turn around fast enough, if you can predict your target's movement, where they're going to land when they roll out. That's very important. And now let me go into this real quick. So for controller, because I use both, like I said, mouse and keyboard, and I use the controller, right? So for controller sides, you got the look sensitivity. That's pretty much your bread and butter of your shotgun, your Gnasher, right? Because look sensitivity is going to determine how fast you can snap on somebody. And for the controller side, you definitely want to put that on a much higher number than you think, just because that is just simply moving the right stick around. You're not aiming down sights. Now, target sensitivity affects, which was one of your tips, so I'm going to go over to in this a little bit. Target sensitivity has a big effect too. It's when you zoom, right? As soon as you hold that left trigger or right click on the mouse, you're gonna zoom in, or you're gonna zoom in right towards that target. And that's very important to do, just because there is a special number that's called 98%, and you're gonna get the 98% a lot if you do not zoom in. If you zoom in, it's gonna make a world of a difference, and I'll go over that when I get to a certain tip. So this is my controller settings. Now I do play classic alt on the controller. I have paddles, so I have them separated where I can wall bounce with one finger, and then I can roll out with the other. It's just much easier that way. That's kind of what I play on. Aim acceleration, make sure you guys put that up to 10, so that way you can track your target better. Inner dead zone and outer dead zone, that's something you got to play around with depending on if your controller is new or old. And then you got all your sensitivities there, so definitely check them out. And then for my other stuff here, I got vibration off, invert off, blah, 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 omnidirectional roll on, analog movement and cover on. So that's what I play with. Now for mouse and keyboard, it is much different, right? The sensitivity is very sensitive in this game, and when I'm using that shotgun, I really like to flick and snap on people. So I have my mouse look sensitivity to 7. It does not sound too high, but believe it or not, it is pretty high for me. And then mouse and aim sensitivity of 5, and mouse zoom sensitivity of 5. Like I said, zoom has nothing to do with the shotgun. And then this is the rest of my settings. Now the important part with mouse and keyboard, for me personally, when it comes to shotgun, is going to be the keybinds, because I have my roadie run and my evade, which is a rollout, on shift, and I have my take cover and mantle on spacebar. That's important for a certain tip we're going to get into, especially for the shotgun, because if you've accidentally rolled and you got obliterated by a shotgun, yeah, you definitely might want to change your keybinds a little bit. But I'll do that in another video. So tip number 1, guys, sensitivity, don't fly across the map. Now, the other part of tip number 1, don't fly across the map. What that means, guys, is do not be the type of person that when you're starting that spawn, when that timer's counting down and you're about to start the round, don't switch over to your shotgun and then run across the map, just straight across like a bullet, and decide, hey, I'm the best player to ever exist. I can do this. Don't do that, especially if you do this. You click versus, you clicked rank. If you click versus and you clicked rank, guys, do yourself a favor and don't be that person. Don't run across the map. Find a teammate, buddy up with a teammate, because if you shoot somebody with your shotgun and you hit that 98% and you decided to fly across the map, nobody's going to be able to finish them off. And vice versa, where if your teammate flies across the map and they hit somebody with their shotgun or even their lancer and then you shoot them, you might get that 98%, but it might finish them off just because your teammate lit them up a little bit. So tip number 1, guys, don't fly across the map. Find your sensitivity. Number 2, use the NADE. The NADE is one of the most important things you can use when it comes to the shotgun, especially in this Gears. You're gonna notice, guys, for this Gears of War, that the smoke grenade, not so much, but the flash grenade is the bread and butter for people that love the shotgun. Now, I'm going to give you tips on both grenades, right? So for the flash grenade, it is your bread and butter at close range. Somebody's camping around a corner, you know they're there, you want to push them, you throw that flash, it stuns them for that moment, you can move in and clean up with your shotgun. Also, people at a medium distance, not crazy distance, but a medium distance, same thing. You throw that flash, close that distance, and then boom, you can kill them with your shotgun. The flash grenade is a great grenade. Now do understand, guys, if you're gonna use the flash grenade comboed with that beautiful shotgun, make sure you see those hit markers. If you throw your flash grenade and you do not see the hit markers, do not move in, because that means the opponent did not get flashed, and that means as soon as you move in, they're going to obliterate your soul to another level. So make sure you are very cautious of the hit markers you're going to get with the flash. Now on the opposite spectrum, the smoke grenade, my favorite personal grenade, right? The smoke grenade is perfect for maps like Vascar, where there is such a long distance that people that love to use a shotgun are at a huge disadvantage. That's why you have the smoke grenade. If you are trying to take down a sniper, you go ahead and throw that smoke to blind that sniper, because it's an instant explosion, guys. That's the beauty about the smoke in this Gears. As soon as you throw it, as soon as it makes contact with whatever it touches, boom, it's gonna explode and make a nice, beautiful gray cloud of smoke. So that being said, as soon as you see that cloud of smoke, you can run right through, because guess what? Nothing ain't going to hit you. Now, don't get me wrong. You're going to get people that are going to get those lucky blind shots, or if somebody's very brave, they're going to switch over to their shotgun and rush right through the smoke too. So it could be, you know, a positive and a negative. But the awesome side of that is that you can close the distance on those snipers, on people that use the Lancer GL, on people that use the drop shot. You can close distances on that. So make sure you guys are always trying both nades. For the flash grenade, CQC, smoke grenade, long range, they're both excellent for the shotgun. And I'm telling you, once you learn how to incorporate them in your movement with that shotgun, whew, you'd be surprised the things you can do. So tip number 2, use the nade. Alright, so now we're in a custom match here, so I can show these next few tips. Tip number 3, pop shot. Learn the pop shot. Now the pop shot is one of those movements that's been all the way back since the Gears 1 days, and it's as simple as, I'm going to show both on mouse and keyboard and also controller. It's as simple as right click on the mouse and then left click, and you do that in a fast motion, so it looks something like that, right? That is a pop shot. It is that simple. And it can make the huge difference between getting 98% and getting 100%. Now, why do you want a pop shot? I'm going to show you right now on this wall right here. I'm going to shoot this wall with a nice little hip fire, and you're going to see that the spread is okay. I mean, it's it's decent, right? It's pretty tight, but it's okay. Now I'm gonna aim my gun down and I'm gonna shoot. The spread is tight. That is a tight spread. On top of it being tight, on top of that, I have aim, I have accuracy. See, when you're like this, when you're moving around and you just blind fire something, for instance, you might not hit like that all the time. If you're down to just a little bit, look at that. And then you're going to be like, wait, I hit him. I swear I hit him. Or if you're up too much, you're up there, right? Whereas if you're moving around and you need to shoot right there, that's simple. Boom, that's simple. Boom, that's simple. Pop shotting can make the difference, guys, between the 98% and 100%. You want to practice this, guys. It is a basic movement. It is a basic thing to do. Now, let me go ahead and pick up the controller. I'm going to weapon switch on a keyboard so you can see. When you see the weapons on the left side there, that means that person's on a keyboard. Now, I'm going to pick up my controller here, and as you can see, I'm on a controller, right? And it's the same thing on this side, except it's left trigger and then right trigger. Left trigger and then right trigger. So I'm going to just like that, right? So if a person is camping this corner right here, I might want to roadie run and then shoot. But if I hip fire, look at this. If I roadie run, shoot, hip fire, and I'm 2 over, I'm going to swear I hit him, but I did not hit him. I hit the wall. Whereas in if I roadie run and I aim, boom, I know I'm going to get that, right? So tip number 3, guys, learn to pop shot. Now, for one of the most important tips, tip number 4, wall bouncing. Now, when I say wall bouncing, guys, do not get scared. Do not think that this is a pro thing and that, oh, I need to be an absolute god to wall bounce. No, you do not need to be a god to wall bounce. It is a very simple thing to do. Now, another thing you're going to hear consistently, PC players, or anybody that's on mouse and keyboard, I should really stop saying PC players. Mouse and keyboard players, you're going to hear people say, oh, you can't really wall bounce on mouse and keyboard. That is a lie. There's just a certain way to do it that makes it much easier than people think, right? So, with that being said, let's get into it here. Wall bouncing on mouse and keyboard and why you want to do it. Now, if I'm trying to take on an opponent that's camping this cover right here, right side cover, and they're just right here, they're just camping this angle here, the last thing you want to do is kind of run straight and then do one of these accidental rolls and then shoots. They're just going to blast you, right? You might want to play your angles, right? Trick his shots, because he's going to have trouble kind of following you around trying to shoot. He's going to be doing this, right? So playing that. Now, let's learn the basics of it, right? Take this wall, for instance. What you're going to do is you're going to go towards the wall and then press S. Towards the wall and press S. Towards the wall and press S. Now, that's the reason why, right there, that's the reason why people say you can't wall bounce on mouse and keyboard. Because pressing S is like a nightmare for us mouse and keyboard players. What you actually want to do is go towards the wall and press D or A. So if I'm going towards the wall here, I'm going to press D. If I'm going towards this ledge, I'm going to press A, right? So instead of forcing myself to wall S, where it's inconsistent, I'm going to press A and D. A, D, A, D, right? Just like that. So if you're on mouse and keyboard, I want you to practice going towards the wall and pressing D, right? Towards the wall and pressing A. Just like that, right? And then you get to a point where you're in between, right? You're in between, right? And you just go back and forth on the mouse and keyboard. It is a very tough thing to do. Mouse and keyboard players, I'm not gonna lie, you have it much harder than a controller player when it comes to wall bouncing. Now let me get to a different area. I have the controller now, so I can teach you the same thing. Now, controller players, flick back. That's all it is. Go towards the wall and flick the stick back. Towards the wall, flick the stick back. It is that simple, so you just towards, flick stick back, towards, flick stick back, towards, flick stick back. Now, I want you to train this. I want you to use this in all of your combats. If you are going to be in a shotgun fight and you know the opponent is right there, or for instance, let me show you guys something real quick. This person just grabbed the torque. He's on that corner right there. He's camping that torque. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do that. Boom, close that. Now I can't see. And I'm just going to practice that, right? I'm not the best wall bouncer in the world, but by me throwing that smoke, it blinds that side. He's going to try to shoot me from that side. So he's going to expect me to do this. I'm going to go towards it, away, away, and just like that, right? Simple, basic wall bouncing, guys. Let me go ahead and kill this bot. Okay, simple, basic wall bouncing, guys, and just practice that. Now, if you are on a piece of cover like this, where the opponent's right there, and you're on this cover here, don't just try to straight run it and shoot them. You're going to get blasted. Trust me on that. Instead, try to come off the wall, bounce, bounce, and then shoot, right? Different things, guys. If you practice it, you'll get better at this. Now, I am very good at wall bouncing, right? I'm not the best, obviously, but I'm very good at wall bouncing. My girlfriend did not wall bounce at all. When I introduced her to Gears, she had no idea what wall bouncing was. She didn't even want to try wall bouncing because it looked weird and hard. Well, now she actually intertwines wall bouncing into her movements and into her gameplay, and she's gotten much better at it. She's actually killed quite a few people because of that wall bouncing stuff, the wall bouncing nonsense, right? So make sure you guys understand that. It's as simple as somebody's around this corner right here, and they're aiming right here. If you wall bounce towards this wall and you cancel it, their shot is going to go straight. And that gives you that opening where I wall bounce, cancel it, boom, right? And intertwine that with my pop shot. So tip number 4, guys, wall bouncing. I'm going to go into a bit more advanced on the wall bouncing side, but I'm going to do that in a whole other video because trust me, when it comes to wall bouncing, that is a very, very complicated subject. So I do not want to touch on it anymore because it's already taken up a lot of time. Tip number 4, wall bouncing. And tip number 5, and probably the most important tip I can ever give you when it comes to the shotgun, is simply practice. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably like, oh, I already know that. No, I mean really practice. I mean go into versus, go into casual quick play, and simply try to use your shotgun in every way you can, right? And obviously be smart about it. If you have a line of sight on a target at a distance, shoot them with your Lancer and then close in on them with your shotgun. Now, practicing your pop shot, practicing your wall bouncing, practice using your nades. What's going to end up happening is when you practice using this stuff, these techniques, you're going to die a lot. It's going to be a lot of deaths coming your way. But once you get a feel for things, once you can intertwine other mechanics of the game into your shotgun, that's when you become an excellent player. That's when you become very good at the game, and you'll be surprised how many more kills you're going to stack up just because of that. The best shotgun players, guys, are not the ones that can take out the shotgun in the beginning of the game and run across the map. Those are not the best players. The best ones are using the nades. They're using that Lancer. They're even using the pistol. They're weakening their targets, and then they're closing in on the opponent with the shotgun. Trust me, guys. Intertwine this stuff. Practice it, and you will load up on them shotgun kills. Now, the shotgun is my favorite weapon. I absolutely love the shotgun, guys. And if I'm going to be honest with you, I would love them to throw in like a Wingman playlist or a 2v2 Gnashers only, because I absolutely love that playlist back in Gears 4, the 2v2. And I think they need to do something like that for us shotgun lovers. And if you want to practice even more, guys, you can actually go into versus and then go into custom games. And I'm pretty sure you can find people hosting all sorts of different things just for shotgun battles, right? So look at free-for-all. So King of the Hill free-for-all. You join that. Pretty sure, yeah, see right there, shoddy free-for-all. So if you guys want to practice your shotgun skills without even messing up your KD, hop into one of these matches, guys. Look at free-for-all, shoddy, no caps. So simply just get in the match, take out your shotgun, and go ham. That's one of the best things you can do, and it's going to give you the best amounts of practice. If you're off with your shotgun, guys, hop into this. This is one of the greatest features they added in Gears. Now, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'm always bringing that Gears 5 content. Now, like I said, this is a beginner shotgun guide, so this is mainly for beginners. You advanced players, You might probably know a few more tips in there. If you know any other important tips that we should share for these beginners, guys, and even ourselves, because you know I could take the tips too, comment down below and let me know, because I am always reading your comments, guys. And if I don't respond, it's probably because YouTube messed up, right? But anyways, hoodie up, get shit done, guys. Peace out.